Why, hello, everybody. No sweats here. Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire, the Kick-Ass Ribbon Game Podcast. I'm your host, Adam, dry as a bone Gumbert. And today we have with us two non-sweaty folks. First up, we have Chad, never touched a pool, Michael Ennis.
Yeah, no sweat, no water, nothing here. Super dry.
And we also have, that zero sugar Dr. Pepper is probably dry as the Sahara. It's Joel Campos. What's up, buddy? I know you're chugging when I'm asking you to speak, but
I played Gundam today.
Everything went well?
Oh yeah, it was a great time.
Love to see it. No backstory there. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/Affable or Respawn Aim Fire. Almost got me there.
Oh.
Monday evenings. Afterwards on YouTube and podcast services, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Make sure to subscribe and like the podcast and download and all that good stuff. YouTube.com/RespawnAimFire or on your podcast service of choice. Our barf game for the month of June. June's almost over, which means it's time for somebody to put up a poll.
I'm doing it right now.
Nice. The barf game for June is Halo Infinite. So we're going to play some multiplayer for Halo Infinite so Joel can reminisce on good times. And then at the end of the month, we'll talk about it. If you want to join us or write in, make sure to do that at respawnaimfire@gmail.com or just hit us in the DMs, baby. It goes down in the DMs. Patreon Early Access episode for June is here. Don't remember what it was. Never do. What happened? What was this one?
I'm going to let you know, I'm going to back up. This poll, this barf poll, the theme for this one is games that devs of some of my favorite games have made that I haven't played.
Okay.
And so they are The Messenger. So that's the Sabotage games from Sea of Stars. Marathon 2 Durandal from the Destiny devs Bungie. By the way, Marathon 2 Durandal is playable on Mac, PC, and Linux, and they have it's all free. Bungie put it all out for free, and they have like this official client that you download and run it through to make it run on modern platforms. So that's an option. Sekiro Shadow Die Twice from Software, Dark Souls, and Spyro Year of the Dragon, Insomniac, and Spider-Man. So those are your four games: Messenger, Marathon 2, Sekiro, and Spyro.
Very cool. We will do that. And yeah, the early access episode is up. I don't remember. Something good, I'm sure. We're going to move on to our main quest. It's the big news of the day. Everyone gird your loins. Wait, hold on. Joel, do you want to do this live on camera? Or Joel's ripping a pack of Gundam cards. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what he pulls out. It could be worth $8,000 or 8 cents. I have no idea. Who's that?
Oh, dude, look at that full art. Bleed to the edge, baby.
It wasn't a pack. It was just like the participation pack everybody gets for playing.
We call that party pack here.
Party pack. PP. I call it PP.
Everyone enjoy your PPs. Grab your
I just
PPs.
ripped my PP on stream.
Don't do that. Official Steam machine has a price. It's from Chris Scullion over at Video Games Chronicle. Valve has revealed... It does have a price. Valve has revealed the price of the Steam Machine ahead of its release. As seen on the official Steam store, the standard Steam Machine will come in 4 versions, priced as follows. Pay attention, everybody. The 512GB model is $1,049. The 512GB model with the Steam controller is $1,128. A 2TB model is $1,349, and a 2TB with a Steam controller is $1,428. The 2TB also come with faceplates that are two different faceplates. Users will be able to register their interest for any of the Steam Machine models from now until June 25th, at which point all pre-orders will be randomized and placed into a queue. Valve says it hopes this method won't reward bots and will ensure everyone has a fair chance to order one without having to schedule their life around that moment. It's all a quote now from Steam, or Valve. Steam Machine, like our other hardware products, is made up of many components that we source from manufacturers around the world. That the price at which we sell our hardware is a direct result of the cost of these components. Engineer Yazin Alden Hayat also told Eurogamer that while the original price was never officially confirmed, the final price is, quote, significantly more than it had envisioned. While the Steam Machine is quite a bit more expensive than any of the mainstream gaming consoles, it is still a gaming PC, and in that world, the Steam Machine's $1,049 price tag isn't quite as painful. After all, many gaming PCs with this kind of horsepower can cost hundreds more than the Steam Machine currently does. So, yep, we have everything official. It was going to bite a little harder than everyone was hoping for, and they were like, yo, literally not our fault. It sucked for the last 6 months. There was nothing we could do. This is the best we could do for you guys. We're sorry. But hey, it's official now.
Yeah. There have been like little pieces of information that have come out throughout the day, and most recently IGN said Valve intended for the box to cost $750, but then it got hit with the same price increase that the Steam Deck did just a few weeks ago. But even I honestly think even at $750, that's a tall ask for what you're getting, because I watched the whole Digital Foundry breakdown video today of it, and like they did a bunch of comparisons with it versus base PS5, it versus like similar PCs that they were able to build with similar specs, and it's a $1,000 machine that oftentimes is running worse than the base PS5, which if you bought the base PS5 at launch for $400, this is triple that price for worse performance, but with the added benefit of the headache of PC gaming, and you get to play friend slot games. So it's a tall ask for what it is that you're getting with this box. I'm not quite sure there is literally any audience for it, especially at this price.
Oh, there is. It's the people who bought a Steam Deck. The people who are already in that niche audience who want PC peripherals made by, a company that they trust. This was never...
But you got to imagine the people
This was
that
not
bought
going to go
Steam
in Target
Deck.
and convince anyone in Target to buy a fucking gaming PC.
Right. I mean, and for the
Especially
record,
not at this price.
Valve does not sell they sell direct to consumer, so like you wouldn't find this in a Target or anything like that anyway. But I find it hard to believe that the person who has a Steam Deck would go this route. If I have a feeling if they have a Steam Deck and they want to play it on the TV, they dock it. If they want a better experience on the Steam Deck, they're like, cool, I'm going to build my next high quality, able to play these games at a high fidelity PC, rather than let me just get another shitty experience for a lot of money.
What I don't get is, I don't know, like the price is obviously way too high for, like you said, the specs and the comparison of this to a base PS5 or an Xbox Series X. Even the Xbox Series S at times, like I saw somebody post that Forza Horizon 6 only doesn't even run at 60 FPS on low settings, when you can hit 60 FPS on a Series S, which is...
That one's a little bit of a unique situation, though, because
it's made for it.
Forza's been for Windows, not for Linux.
But yeah, either way, like the price point is just like so bad. I can't imagine. I don't know. If you have a Steam Deck and you have a dock for your Steam Deck, I don't see why you need this thing at all, right? Because you're already going to be playing the game at not great fidelity. Why not just fucking buy a Steam controller and dock your Steam Deck and play that way if you really feel like you want to play on a bigger screen the same games you play on your Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's really just the price. I think this same box, if it was maybe $700, you'd be like, okay, it's not the most high-powered thing, but I can play PC games on my TV, and it's only that much. At $1,400 or $1,050 for the base model without a controller. I mean, it's just the reality of the world we live in. Like, just the fucking RAM inside it alone is damn, like RAM. If I go buy a stick of RAM right now, it's $1,000 fucking dollars. Like, it is what it is. So that sucks for them because it's a cool idea. But I was not really interested in it in the first place, and I'm definitely not interested in it for $1,000. But I was also probably never going to buy one anyways. It's just very unfortunate.
I think the real interesting thing that came out of today is that they are releasing SteamOS for anyone to load onto a PC of their choice.
That's the bigger thing.
Which, the way that they phrased it and marketed it is like, you can make your own Steam machine with whatever specs you have, which I feel like goes against the point of the Steam machine, because it was like standardizing a benchmark for things to hit. And so when you go on the Steam store and you see things are like Steam machine certified, this will work on Steam machine. And now suddenly you're telling people you can go duct tape together a few old PC components and that also qualifies as a Steam machine. Like, that muddies the water there a little bit with the messaging. But having a dedicated box that you can build yourself and just load SteamOS onto it and have a more console-like experience with something you put together yourself, maybe over time, or maybe you start with really shitty specs and you upgrade it and whatever that is for you, like, that is a more attractive thing. I wonder if you could even put that on like a Raspberry Pi. If you could, I have a Raspberry Pi 5 that I've never used for anything. I wonder if you could load SteamOS on that and just play Friend Slop.
I think it would be a fun Because the SteamOS is a thing that a lot of people like, especially like in the handheld, like obviously like all the ROGs and all the handheld, the Legion Go that's $2,000. Everyone likes SteamOS compared to a lot of those operating systems. And I think I saw just people on Discord being like, oh, I upgraded my PC a year ago, but I kept my old graphics card. So now I can just make a little TV set box with my 4-year-old graphics card. And it's like,
yeah,
you can do it for free. Like they're not charging you to have the experience you like if you feel like putting it together. Again, not a thing Adam will do, but I guess it's not really, it doesn't hurt them. They're just like, yo guys, we're sorry. This thing is, there's nothing we can do. Man, I'm not looking forward to next gen, guys. The fact that this is 1,000 PS6 and Xbox Helix, there's no fucking way it's less. I mean, again, unless everything changes in the economy and the AI data centers and shit go down, we are looking at, I would probably guess 1,200 a minimum for the next gen shit. Like, legitimately, I would not be shocked.
You know what's upsetting, though, is that we, like, with all of these data centers and, like, insane GPUs and RAM that's going towards building out these data centers, we're kind of in the perfect scenario for cloud gaming to take over. But Stadia and Luna and, well, we see how Microsoft's doing, like, they're all dead. It's like, this is the perfect opportunity for, like, you don't have to buy another $2,000, $3,000 box next generation. You can just, everything's an Xbox it now and stream via the cloud. But
part of the issue with that, though, is if it did start taking off, they would have to raise the prices of xCloud to keep up with the demand of servers that they got to produce, right? So, like, if they tripled the amount of people using xCloud, like, within a month or 2 months, 3 months, they're going to have to triple the amount of servers they have to support that. And in doing so, that's going to, only going to hurt the cost of the service.
NVIDIA as well,
you got a long time before that hits, though.
Yeah, because GeForce.
There are people... Well, yeah, and GeForce Now, that's the one that's alive and well.
And I think NVIDIA wants you renting their fucking cloud servers instead of buying shit. Or they don't really care one way or the other. Give us $3,000 for a graphics card or pay us, $200 a year for cloud shit.
Yeah.
There are people now who are, they're still gaming on a PS4 or an Xbox One. Like we're talking about more chiropractors. My chiropractor here was talking about how he's like, man, I'm finally going to have to get a PS5 for Grand Theft Auto later this year. And I was like, dude, you are picking the wrong time to jump into this generation. Yeah. So I think it would be 7 to 10 years before those people got into cloud gaming.
Yeah. It's just a shit show, guys. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. I tell you what's exciting, though. I've been... Like, I was 30% maybe going to buy a Steam machine before today's announcement. Like, not really close to it, but I was keeping my eye on it. But what I almost did pull the trigger on was that AYN Odin 3. This is like the new, like, Odin and the AYN Thor are the two, like, newest, latest, and greatest retro handhelds that everyone's obsessed with. Thor is, like, the dual screen DS version, and then AYN Thor, or Odin is the Vita-shaped one. But what's really interesting about these is that they are starting to get native Steam game support on them. They're Android-based devices, but there are things. There's an app called Game Native. There's an emulator. Oh, I guess it's technically not an emulator, but you're running your Steam library on these devices. And right now, it's capable of doing things like Mina the Hollower, Hollow Knight, Silksong, Friend Swap games, and it can run, but is choppy when it's trying to run things like Resident Evil Requiem. But I imagine those things are going to take off in the next couple of years. And that's $400. I mean, technically, you could buy the base model of that for $329 if you wanted, but the version I was looking at is like $450 right now. Although those prices are going up by like $30 each or something like that.
Yeah, every other month
as well. But that is looking way more attractive to me now as the way to play my friend slot games than a Steam box would be.
Oh yeah, no.
And in fact, the Odin 3. You can boot it up into Linux, so you can actually install Steam like directly onto the device as well, which is cool.
Yeah, I know the hardcore gamers are into the AYN stuff. I don't know if I would go that deep into the Duffy on it, but that's cool that it's there. And it's crazy that $300 is the cheapest option for gaming at the moment. But that is cool. I was thinking about the dual screen one because I heard you can do some interesting stuff with it. Allegedly.
Yeah. I almost pulled the trigger on it, but then I was watching a video about this game works really well as long as you go into here and download a third-party app to throttle the CPU to this percent and then make sure the fan only kicks in with this algorithmic curve rather than and I was like, nope.
Immediately too much. No, thank you.
There's a reason I don't like PC gaming and now Android gaming.
I am curious. I mean, again, I'm not getting a Steam machine. I don't care. I wonder how seamless it is. Just because, there is the thing where PCs can get very particular in all the shit you got to do with them. But again, that's the reason people like Steam Deck and the reason I like my computer is that I don't have to do. I've never had to downloading a driver once a month is the most I have to do, and it takes fucking 3 seconds and it downloads, and I don't have to do anything. I go into a game and I hit fucking recommended and it goes ultra, and then I move on with my life. I think the Steam machine is similar, obviously with the whole verified whatever.
Right.
Because like you said, there are other options. People can make their own stuff. There's still that ease of use that I think Valve is going to bring people. But again, $1,400 for 2 terabytes, like there's no fucking way. That, again, the sickos will find an excuse why it's okay to do that. You guys enjoy that. Have fun.
But what blows my mind is like, you can get a 2 terabyte PS5 Pro for $900, and that comes with a controller.
Yeah,
and
but
it's like,
if you're a PC gamer and I own 3,000 games on Steam and there's a bunch of stuff that's not played, I'm not gonna fucking.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you're a PC gamer and you have your whole library on Steam, you have a better PC than this already.
Maybe.
Why? Like, why? Why buy this at all?
Because people want if you're a PC gamer with a high-end PC, if you don't have a way to play those PC games in the living room, this is the solution for you.
It's a solution. Also, there was that study about like a lot of people on Steam who actually don't have newer PCs. It's only like the enthusiast, but like most people are using like 7-year-old hardware to play Steam games. So if you're like, well, I've been on my laptop from college for a while, I would like a $700 Steam box. Well, I won't do it now, obviously.
Well,
but
yeah. Why are people playing on these old ass PCs? Because they don't have the fucking money to pay for a new PC.
No,
and they're not going to have $750 or $1,000 to buy this low end PC.
You know what? No. You know what's sad about all that though? All of these are going to sell out the second they go up.
Oh yeah, these are going to be gone.
And then 20% of those are going to be on eBay for double the price, and people are still going to buy them there.
Yeah. Valve even said, they had a statement today. They're like, there are some components in this that we literally could not source no matter how much we tried to pay for them. So that's reflected in the availability that we'll have at launch. So they will be very supply constrained at launch. I do like the rollout strategy that they're doing, the lottery-based rollout strategy. Like, express your interest in the next 4 days. If you're listening to this and you want one, you have until Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I think, to go and express interest, and then you will get an email the next Monday if you were chosen to buy it, or you'll get an email saying you're on the wait list. But I like that way of doing it in the age of scalpers and fucking websites that can't keep up with all the traffic for pre-ordering things. So I do like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Again, I think Valve is going to be successful. They will sell out of the stock that they have made. Do I think that this is a product that makes sense for most people? Absolutely not. Do they? And not that they don't care. I don't think that they were expecting it to be this way. And it just is what it is. But they'll sell out, just like they did with Steam Deck. Steam Deck went up in price, and they still sold that shit out. So it's just, It is interesting now to get the prices on this. It's not a thing that anyone here will go out or care about, but for me, this whole story is just like, man, what does next gen look like? That's the only thing about this story I care about, because I am, again, you should have a year ago bought PC parts to upgrade your PC. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to survive gaming for the next 10 years if you went super buff a year ago when it was not as crazy expensive as it is
like
now.
Me.
That was perfect.
Yeah,
that was super smart.
I think we just milk this generation for as long as we can in the next 3 or 4 years and hope to God that the world rights itself.
2029 for the next gen would be great. I'd be happy for that. That'd be wonderful. Yeah. 9 years? That's not a big deal. Go for that.
Give GTA 7 a little bit of time to cook.
We'll see that when I'm 50. But yeah, no, we'll see. I mean, we've got the prices. You guys enjoy it or not. Moving on to Playtime. Talking about Playtime. Joel, what did you play?
All I played was a little bit of Halo, baby. Oh, and Forza.
You did play.
I did play some Halo. Not going to talk about it right now. But I did play Forza with Matt. And Chad was in the voice chat for about 5 seconds and then just ghosted us. And Dallas. This was on my birthday last week. It was a good time. Yeah. Well, Dallas didn't play Forza. He played Crimson Desert while Forza downloaded. And fun fact, Dallas has played like 127 hours of Crimson Desert. Still has not beat the game. Still has not beat the game. And also still doesn't even have a fucking dragon, whatever that means.
No, he's
I
too
was
busy.
listening to Kevin Coelho talk about his time with the Crimson Desert. He has 500 plus hours in it, and he's only like 80% of the way through the game.
I asked Dallas, I was like, what are you doing? Like fucking looking at every rock in the game as you walk past it? Like, I don't understand. I've never spent that much time in a single player open world game.
How much was he right now? 127, you said?
Like 127 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot to not be done with the story of a game. Because like for me, I get like, I don't know. If it's like a 40-hour game, I'll get like 25, 30 hours in and be like, all right, I just want to get to the story now. Like everybody's talking about the story. I don't have the time to keep going. I want to get to the story now. And then I'll go through the whole story. And then if I feel like it, I'll keep playing the game to do some of the side stuff. But to be 127 hours into a game and not beating it yet is just, I'm not wired that way.
That's literally the amount of time that James Franco decided he was going to cut his arm off in that movie, 127 hours.
Yeah,
I would have cut my arm off.
Point, Dallas, if you haven't beat the game, cut your arm off and stop playing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all I played. Me and Matt just kind of roamed around in Forza, did some races. It was a good old time, and that's all I played.
Why didn't Dallas cloud stream Forza?
Probably because he didn't actually want to play Forza. I wouldn't doubt if he didn't even start downloading it.
He's like, I'll just sit and chat.
When he said, because I think he said, "Hold on, let me subscribe real quick." I bet he didn't even subscribe to Game Pass. I bet he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm subscribing real hard over here." Beep boop boop boop. Crimson Desert.
Oh, that's funny. Chad, what about you?
Speaking of putting 18 hours into something and then wanting to finish the story, I'm playing the Rising Tide DLC for Final Fantasy 16. I am...
What is wrong with you?
I've gotten to this point where I am like, there's not really a lot to play right now that I'm interested in, at least. Not until probably Halo comes out at the end of next month. But I've been complaining that I haven't had time to play things. I was talking with my friend a couple weeks ago. I was like, I love the idea of DLC, but I never get around to actually playing DLC. And I think it's just, you miss out on the window, you come back later and you don't know what's going on. And that certainly was the case here. I was trying to figure out, what do I play? And what's funny is I looked up how long to beat the second Plague Tale game, because I was like, I want to play this game and nobody ever lets me play this game. Now I have time. And I looked it up. I was like, 18 hours. Fuck, that's way too long. Let me go play the Final Fantasy DLC instead. And I'm like about 18 hours into that right now.
Is this one or two? Because there was two DLCs, right?
So I just beat, although apparently there's more that I haven't found. I've beat the story of the Rising Tide DLC, which is the Lost Icon, which is Leviathan. You have to fight an 80-year-old baby, and you get these cool new powers, which is really great. I did run into the thing where it's been 2 years since I played that game, and I couldn't remember how the fuck to play any of it. And I literally spent the first hour getting to the point where you can access the DLC, because you have to be at the end of the game. And you don't beat the game necessarily, but you have to have the last mission unlocked, and you have to complete 2 side missions for 2 of your party members. And my save file was at the end of my Final Fantasy mode playthrough, which is the super hard mode. And so I got to the end of that, and that was one where I skipped all the side quests and everything. So I had to go back and spend the first hour just collecting side quests to find the one that I needed, and then go and do those side quests real quick. And then I came back and it was tough to remember what I was doing. But once I finally got my hands back in the game and understood what I was doing, this was really cool fights, really cool battles. There's a lot of the forget what they're called, the little green guys in the hoods with the knives that move really slow, but then they stab you and they're super lethal. But a lot of fights with those, big ones of those. But then the Leviathan part of it, you go in this. There was a really cool boss battle with a giant knight. That's really good. That's what this game is all about. The game is fine, open, not really open world. Yeah, kind of open. Fine open world things, some interesting stories and characters, but then just fucking amazing, incredible, huge experiences with these boss battles. And so that's what it all built up to, with this fight with Leviathan. And then, to be honest with you, that was the most absurd, stupid fucking part of this whole thing, was the fight with Leviathan. It's you, and you've transformed into your Ifrit, the giant demon fire thing, and you're fighting Leviathan. And it was cool and epic looking, but there's one phase of this boss fight that is just a DPS check. And if you don't beat it by the end of this timer, which is like a minute and 30 seconds, we'll say, it's not a visible timer, but then it just summons a tidal wave and wipes you out, as well as the entire village, and you fail life. And in order to beat it, you like go on Reddit, there are so many people saying, how the fuck do you beat this thing in the time allowed? It seems literally impossible. And they're like, as soon as you get in there, you have to mash this particular skill, and then you have to dodge everything on your way up there, and then you have to spam this particular combo over and over and over. And if you miss one of it, you're dead. There's no way to come back from that. And so that's the kind of, and of course, you would never know that playing this part. All you know is that I can't do enough damage to finish this fight. So that was frustrating as shit. But the rest of the fight was cool. So Rising Tide DLC, I finished it. Oh, and there was a cool secret. You beat that, and it's like, oh, something's glowing at this stone. There's this like a reet stone or a ret stone or something like that in your hideout, your like hub town. Like something interesting is going on there. And normally that's where you go to like practice on a dummy, to like practice your skills, or do like this challenge mode thing, which is normally not my jam. So I didn't even go to that for a little bit. And instead I was looking at the trophy list, and it was like unlock all the powers for Ultima and Leviathan. I was like, powers for Ultima? What the fuck is that? Why don't I have that? It looks like my powers list is like completely full. And I went to that little stone, and the final boss of the game is like, here, now you have powers of me. And he like gives you his powers, and you become this cool fucking angel thing that summons the will of God and destroys. It's so much fun. So that's cool. And then they also introduced a mode that is it's a little bit of roguelite, but it's a challenge dungeon. Like you have 20 levels, and each level is like a 3-phase fight. And there's like a couple of smaller monsters, and then maybe a mix of melee and ranged people. And then the third phase of that one is a larger enemy. And you do that 20 times. And every 5th time is one of the big battles with one of the icons. And you can't use any accessories during it, and they like limit your health and defense and stuff like that. But as you beat level after level, you get these I forget what they're called. They're BP, whatever BP stands for, boon points. And you can spend money, you can spend those on boons. So it's like you get more health back at the end of each fight, or every time that you do a perfect dodge, you start regenerating health, or do bonus damage for the next 2 fights. And so you do that, as well as you can upgrade. You get health or EP experience points, probably. I don't know. But you get that, and you can upgrade your health. You can upgrade your defense. You can choose to upgrade your icon's damage, all that kind of stuff. So, but you kind of start from 0 and go through. And I got 14 of those in, and then one random little enemy fucking destroys me with a giant laser beam out of nowhere, even though I have a boon selected that's like, if you can dodge, it will dodge. And this guy one-shots me with a beam, and I'm like, I thought I was supposed to be able to dodge that. And then it said, you don't get to go all the way to 20. I was like, fuck that, I'm never doing that again. But it was cool while it lasted. There is, as you mentioned, one more DLC. It's not Eye of the North. It's not Edge of Fate. It's something else with an E. But there's another E DLC where it's like the storyline. I just picked up the first mission of it, so I have just the intro storyline. I saw the cinematic, and it was like there are people out there using knockoff crystals, like
Echoes of the Fallen.
Echoes of the Fallen, yes, man-made crystals to like have magical powers, but the crystals like disintegrate basically after the first use. And then you go find who of our ancestors are creating man-made crystals to challenge the gods and all that kind of stuff. So seems like it's going to be an interesting little DLC pack as well. So yeah, playing Final Fantasy 16 again. Great game.
Would it just beat Plague Tale 2?
I could have done that. Yes, you are correct.
Still good. Nothing stopping you.
Let me tell you what else this week went on a little journey trying to figure out. I recently learned, we talked about Child Wars 3 being announced at SGF, which was just the weird fancy script for Guild Wars 3. It just looked like Child Wars 3. And somehow this week I found out that Guild Wars Reforged, which is like WoW Classic, but for Guild Wars, where they've updated everything and runs on modern platforms and all that kind of stuff. Guild Wars Reforged is coming. It came out on PC a couple months ago, and it's coming to iOS and Android on Wednesday this week. And I was like, what? And they're like, if you've ever bought any Guild Wars anything, when you sign into your account, it'll just unlock Guild Wars Reforged on mobile for you. It'll unlock it in the Steam store. I was like, that's awesome. Let me try and figure out what my password is. And I tried to, running in like a virtual window in this app called Crossover on my Mac. I'm running Windows and Steam inside of that, playing the first Guild Wars client, trying to log in, and I had an old ass email address that I played that game with 23 years ago. No, it was 2004, 2005, something like that when the first one came out. I was using mega mini midget at gmail.com. That was my email address.
Can you still access that email?
Well, here's the thing. In 2020, Google started deleting inactive accounts. And I hadn't checked that email in probably 5 years. But I had had it like forwarding to my grown-up adult email address in case anything came to it. So in 2020, Google deleted that account. And so when you go, and I tried to like go and create that same account again, but it's like, nope, that username is forever not being able to be used. And so I was chatting back and forth with Guild Wars support, and they were like, if you can email us from that email. I was like, I can't. It's literally deleted. There's no way. But I was like, I have the receipt from where my mom bought me the expansion on a disc and shipped it to my dad. And it was like, I have that. I have this password reset email from 2011 that shows my email address and my account and like the temporary password you guys gave me. And I'm like, sorry. Can't do it. So I won't be able to access all my other characters that I had in Guild Wars 1, but I can still download and play the game on my phone starting on Wednesday. So I'll either lose a lot of time into that, or I'll jump in and be like, whoa, this game's fucking old, and I'll never play it again.
The biggest question out of that entire story, Joel, you might agree with me. Why the fuck do you have a receipt from like 2012? What is going on here?
I was searching through all my old Gmail, and I just searched Guild Wars, and it came up with every email that I ever got from Guild Wars all the way back to 2004.
Oh, I thought you had a physical receipt from the shipping of.
No, I had the Guild Wars Nightfall expansion. This was, mind you, back in the days where everything came on a disc.
On a disc, yeah.
Because they were like, can you provide me the product key and the order number? I was like, no, because I bought this before you had product keys. Like, this wasn't a key-based thing. This was a disc-based thing that I installed on my computer. So yeah, it was from GoGamer.com. They shipped Guild Wars Nightfall via mail.
Chad, you were just describing like a Nathan For You episode where it's like, all right, this game's free, but we're going to make it as hard as possible for you to get.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, God, that's just like that Nathan For You episode when they're like, here's the gas TV prices after you do the rebates. And so the gas prices are really high, but after the rebate, it's like $1 a gallon. But like the rebate, you have to physically write a letter and drop it in on the mailbox that's at the very top of this mountain that we have to hike up 3 hours to get to.
There's also the episode where they're like, yeah, the TV's $1, but you have to climb through this door, and the door's like,
with that alligator.
1.6 by 1.6 on the ground. They climb through it, and there's just an alligator in the room before they can get to the TV.
Yep. That's so fucking funny. Good. Was that Dimension Pals? Was that what that was?
Oh, fuck. No, Dimension Pals was, I'm playing more of Pokemon X on my 3DS. And there are two things that I noticed while playing this game. The first is that it does some really cool things with perspective in that game. Like, most Pokemon games I think about are either the top-down ones from the past that was through all the way to the Game Boy Advance generation, I guess. And then the 3D quote-unquote versions, like the Switch versions, where it's behind your shoulder, kind of open world kind of stuff. But this one has a hybrid of those, and it'll be kind of up over, like above a little bit, and then it will dynamically move the camera. So as you go and like leave a city and go into the open field, the camera will like kind of lower a little bit, and it'll kind of be that third person over the shoulder view. And it's like, oh, that's really cool. Or when you go to Lumio City, which is the same city that is the entire game of Pokemon Za takes place in from last year. You go to this city and it lowers the camera like all the way to your ass so that the city seems really huge, and it's suddenly like a completely different 3D Pokemon game. I was like, this is really cool, and it's just changing shit all the time during cutscenes too. So I was really impressed by that. I didn't expect that from a Pokemon game, especially given like how unremarkable their like innovation has been throughout the whole series. So to see something like that in the early days of Pokemon in the 3D world, that's cool. And I also noticed for the first time, I think Cozy said this at one time, this is the only game that actually has things in stereoscopic 3D on the 3DS. And so when you're in town, it's not 3D, but anytime you go into a battle, it is in 3D.
It's really cool.
3D on the 3DS.
It is really cool.
But I didn't realize this until I was trying to preserve battery life, because we talked last week about how the shitty battery that I had in it that was expanding. So I was trying to preserve battery life, and I turned the 3D off, and it doubled the frame rate. I was like, what? And I turned the 3D back on, and it's like, I had no idea that the 3D did that on the 3DS. I don't know if that's a like design flaw or whether that's like intended how that would work, or maybe Pokemon doesn't take advantage of it or optimize well for it. But yeah, I was surprised to see that just turning on the 3D halves the frame rate, and it makes it a lot less smooth than having it off. So now I play with the 3D off just because I don't want it to be as slow as it is whenever I have the 3D on. So yeah, Pokemon X.
Cool. For me, I've been playing a lot of Steam Deck lately, having a good time with that one. There was a sale, and I was like, you know what? I don't really care about this franchise, but it's so cheap I have to buy it. And I finally purchased Sonic Shadow Generations. Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, is that the name of that game?
Yeah.
So yeah, that is it's a really cool idea where it's a Sonic game where short, fat Sonic and tall, cool Sonic both are hanging out, and you play. Every level has two versions where you've got your 2D side scroller, a la the Genesis version, and then that's when you're short Sonic who doesn't talk, and then you play tall, cool Sonic, and then it's more of the 3D like the rail grinding ones, and like the newer style of Sonic, and you play back and forth as these two guys as they're going around saving all their friends. So I've always heard it was a really good game. I had never played it. This was like a 360 game, I believe. And I was like, cool, let me get this. Again, it was on sale on Steam for like $10. Like, sure, let me try this out. But the cool thing when they redid it and made it more modern is that all that original Sonic two guys hanging out thing was there, and they added the Shadow stuff, and there's an entire campaign where you play as Shadow and going around being the ultimate life form and shooting things and rail grinding. Apparently that shit's really, really cool. I have not got to the Shadow stuff yet because I haven't played the Sonic stuff either, so I'm like, let me just do that first. But man, as I'm playing it, I'm like, yeah, this game's fun, it's cool, but like, man, where's Shadow at? I might just exit out of the Sonic part and go play Shadow, but I've only played maybe like 45 minutes of that game, but it's a good game. Here's the thing, the Sonic games, they're very fine. I think that Sonic sickos are coping a lot, pretending that this is a great franchise when it's just a cool character, really. This game's pretty good, though. I'll give it to it. It's fun. I especially like being 3D Sonic, because going sideways and dashing left and right, doing some temple run shit's a good time. But the game I played the most of, it's funny enough, Uncharted, The Lost Legacy.
Yeah,
on
I
PC.
saw you playing that with an Xbox controller, and I saw the B button prompt come up, and I was like, that's so weird.
It's so funny. So I played Uncharted The Lost Legacy on stream. By the way, shout out to everyone. I reached affiliate over on Twitch, twitch.tv/AdamGumby. So, but I was like, all right, let me play. This is Uncharted The Lost Legacy is the only Uncharted game I have not played ever.
Same.
So I was like,
I never played it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's really cool. This one you're playing is Chloe and Nadine. They're going off on their own adventure, looking for the tusk of. I don't know. Honestly, the problem is because I was streaming, so I wasn't fully paying attention to the story. But they're out there looking for their own thing, doing their thing. But the game is really cool. I know people like it a lot, and I do. I have not finished it because I'm playing it entirely on stream, but I'm already like halfway through the game, and it's like, man, a 5-hour Uncharted actually does sound really cool compared to the full one. Because so I've beaten 1, 2, and 3. I played a demo of Golden Abyss because it was on a demo kiosk when I worked at GameStop. And then I started 4, but I never finished 4 because that's a long game, right? Isn't that like double the length of every other Uncharted game?
It's so good though.
Well, yeah, I need to get back to it because it's part of this collection that I have. But I was like, man, that's a very long game. I never finished it. But doing this one, playing as Chloe, my favorite character of Uncharted. And again, I'm almost done with this campaign already. It's a very good game. And I was like, yeah, man, Uncharted's good. Especially coming off the back of playing 007. I was like, yeah, I just want to play like a cinematic, like, run and gun shooter kind of an adventure game. And it's like, yeah, this is scratching that itch. And it's like, yeah, man, it's a good one. And I'm almost done. And that's also fun. But yeah, I mean, guys, we need to talk about it. Drake's baby mama. He should have chosen differently.
Oh, I don't know. Absolutely should have chosen Chloe instead of Elena.
Yeah, I don't know if necessarily it's his choice because I think Chloe was kind of like playing both sides and doing her whole like I'm a thief thing, but like Drake should have tried harder. That's all I'll say. Come on, man. What are we doing here? So much better than Elena. But yeah, getting her backstory and stuff is cool. Hanging out with Nadine's fun. Enough. It's a buddy cop thing where it's like Chloe's silly and Nadine's super serious. So it's like, yeah, no, that's a good game. That's a good time. So I will hopefully finish that on stream in the next coming week. But that's been a good one.
In my search to find something to play, I also considered for a second 007 First Light because I was like, oh man, yeah, I kind of want something Uncharted-y. Because you talking about that game and then me seeing some footage where I was like, yeah, this is just Uncharted, but James Bond. And so, but again, that was too long.
That's literally shorter than
I know
Plague Tale and the DLC that you just played.
Too long. DLC, you think about it's like, I can't be more than 3-4 hours, and then you spend 18 hours playing it. But
yeah, that happens. But yeah, played that on stream. Made affiliate. Thank everyone for showing up and doing that. And those are the 2 games that I played. I haven't really played a console game at all. I've just played a lot of Steam Deck because I bought it and I was like, let me justify my purchase of this. I also played, so it's going to be next Monday's episode of the tier list, but I played Rocky Horror Picture Show, or actually it's just Rocky Horror Show the game, which is a 2024 yeah, it's a 2024 game that is in the style of like an NES movie tie-in where it's like a 2D platformer but like chiptunes and they have the song from the thing. I played that for the show, never watched the movie, so playing the game was very interesting. And the dude, my guess was like, oh yeah, dude, this is a movie time. It's just telling the movie. This game is just the movie or whatever. But a fun thing, Chad, you might know. Have you seen that movie before, Rocky Horror?
Yeah, I was in a production of it in Chicago.
Ah, very cool. Yeah. Apparently, when you beat the game, again, it basically just goes through the story of the main game. I did not know that. I didn't know anything about the movie. Whenever you go to New Game Plus, it does the call and response stuff for the audience does. So again, I wouldn't know. I didn't play New Game Plus, but it's like, yeah, whenever there's something about like when the flat tire and he's like, go to the castle on the phone. You would know this. There's like a castle on the phone or whatever. And they're like, the castles don't have phones, asshole. And like they say that in the New Game Plus, and then they change the character's name to asshole. So like, apparently it's really fun and neat. But yeah, I really want to watch that movie.
Who makes that game?
It's a small. They've only. No, yeah, it's a Rockstar game. No, it's a game that they only made this and Angry Video Game Nerd the game. That's the only 2 games that these guys have made.
What a resume.
That's an interesting one. But yeah, it's on Switch and Steam is the only places it's at as well. That's a weird thing. But
CRL
cool.
Group is the developer.
I think that might be an old Rocky Horror Picture Show.
CRL. Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, maybe this is old. Hold on.
Yeah, this is 2024. Rocky Horror Show the game 2024.
Oh well, this is saying. You're right. This is saying released for the Apple II, Commodore 64, and then there's a thing saying for the 1999 video game. Click this link.
There are multiple.
So I guess this one's older than the.
So this one is by Freak Zone Games, is the one that I'm talking about from 2024, and yeah, I think it's only on Switch and PC, but you can do that. I just want to watch the movie, but I looked and it's not streaming anywhere. I have to fucking buy it. So.
Oh, it's in the PlayStation Store too.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, I guess it's on more things than what I thought. But yeah, that's there if people want to watch the movie but play a game version of it. Moving on to that, it's time for...
Segment from Adam, 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 segment... That's the arpeggio for the Final Fantasy theme.
Oh, I thought you were doing a Time Warp, but that's fine.
Segment from Adam again.
That's a good song. I knew that. That's the only thing I knew. I didn't even know that Tim Curry was the main guy in that movie. I had no fucking idea.
Oh,
Anyways, this week we are going to play a little game. I'm going to share my screen now, Joel. Boop, boop, boop. I'm playing a little game that, again, I stole from Jacob McCourt because that man makes all the good stuff. This is part of his video game trivia at PAX, but I'm calling it Zoomies, and we'll get to it very soon. It's going to be a game versus you two guys. The idea of Zoomies is really just box art trivia. I'm going to show you box arts for video games, and there will be 3 versions of it. The first version, very zoomed in on a very specific part. If you need more of a clue, say Zoomies, I'll back out and then back out. So whoever guess the box art gets the point. You get 3 points for the first one, 2 points for the second one. We'll do that.
Unlimited guesses or 1 guess per Zoom?
Let's do 1 guess per Zoom.
Okay.
But yeah, I have 6 games. They're zoomed in. We'll back out. You tell me whoever gets it gets the points. All right. Number 1. What's this?
Pokemon Legends ZA.
Pokemon. Oh, never mind. It's Arceus. Oh, well, I fucked up. Joel, you get 1 point because I fucked up on that. Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Damn it.
Now, how did you know it based off of just that zoomed in picture?
I saw the top of Ralta's head.
Ralta's head, yeah.
And then I
this
saw
was
the
first
black,
one that I zoomed in on.
The black bottom of the A and that type. So I was like, I knew it was Pokemon, and then I knew it had like an interesting looking title treatment. So
yeah, no, it is Pokemon Legends Arceus. I fucked up. I'll just say we're at 0 points because I fucked up on that one. I was like, damn, check it already.
No, I get a point. I got a point.
No.
Sure.
No.
Mark it.
We're on to game number 2.
Joel's
What
up
is
1-0.
this?
Destiny 2.
It is not Destiny 2. Jack, can you explain what you're seeing here?
I'm seeing a night sky. I actually can't tell. Are there stars or is my monitor dirty? Are there stars?
That's just a picture.
Okay. Yeah, a night sky, some stars, and it looks like a black streak, though you can still see the stars through it. And then there's like the more blue, dark blue night sky on either side of it. And I'm trying to figure out what that is. Is it some letters? Is it somebody's leg? Like somebody's black jeans? I'm going to say this is Alan Wake.
That was going to be one of my guesses.
It is not Alan Wake. I'll go ahead and zoom up to the next picture. Can you explain that
Uncharted,
for the audience?
Lost Legacy.
It is Uncharted The Lost Legacy. That is the jeans from the 2 main characters that I zoomed in on. It's the full picture of it.
I guessed that was somebody's leg in black jeans from the Starry Sky
Yeah, when you
picture.
said jeans, I was like, oh, there we go. So Chad has 2 points because he got it on the second one. Joel has 1 point because I fucked up on the first one. Next game up. What is this?
Banjo-Kazooie.
Crash Bandicoot.
Banjo-Kazooie is not the correct answer. Crash Bandicoot is not the correct answer.
Banjo-Tooie.
You can only guess 1 per thing.
I know. I thought I was going to get it.
It's not Rare Replay.
All right, zoom out again.
Banjo-Tooie.
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
It is Banjo-Tooie.
That's what I said.
You said it after you'd already used a guess.
Yeah,
but that was going to be was my guess for the next thing, assuming you were to zoom out.
No, you didn't say it when I zoomed out.
Motherfucker.
So we are now tied up 2-2. Yes. So this is the cover art for Banjo-Tooie. By the way, the most difficult cover art on the planet to find. Legitimately finding it in a JPEG file, and then I wanted to get the one with like the N64 cover, and it's impossible. It's all AVIV files or whatever the fuck that shit is. I don't know what it is. Banjo-Tooie. All right, we're going up to our next game. What is this?
Ace Attorney 2.
Phoenix Wright, Attorney at Law.
It is not Phoenix Wright, Attorney at Law. It is not Ace Attorney 2. I'm looking for the correct title on this one. We're going to zoom out real quick.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Not Leisure Suit Larry.
Fuck.
Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney is the correct name of the game. It's the first one. So that is 4 for Joel, 2 for Chad.
I can't believe I guessed like partial based off the first thing of just seeing like an old man.
Yeah, the funny
with
thing
sunglasses.
is that the picture is just like an old man without any facial features sitting at his chair.
He looks like he's sitting judgy.
But the problem is like on the first picture, like we didn't even have the scales above him. It was just an old man in a chair.
No, old man viewed from below and like this judgy like there are not that many games about a courtroom.
All you can see are his shoulders and his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No facial features. All right. You guys are doing very good. Going up to our next one. What is this? If someone would like to explain what it looks like, I would also
Metal Gear
appreciate it.
Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
That was my guess. That was my guess too. I couldn't put my
It is
words.
Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
I couldn't think of the sub name, so that's why I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, no, I
was like, Ground Zeroes or Phantom Pain? Ground Zeroes or Phantom Pain?
Yeah. There was actually a combo of those I was going to use because it's a cooler box art. But yeah, I just zoomed in on that man's hair and like the red V that's going through it, and somehow Chad knew it right away. So congratulations.
Yeah.
It is 5-4. I believe we have either 1 or 2 games left. So coming down to the wire. Oh, this is the last game, by the way. What is
button? Just
is
a button
this?
on a suit jacket.
All right, button on a suit jacket, I would say would make sense. This is for all the marbles, by the way. Whoever gets this is probably going to win. So,
007 First Light.
It is not 007 First Light.
007 GoldenEye.
It is not 007 GoldenEye. I will go ahead and zoom out.
Hitman
Absolution.
It is not Hitman Absolution. Joel, what was your guess?
Hitman.
It is not Hitman. I am looking for the full titles of these video games. I will zoom out for the last one. Joel, if you get this, you tie. Chad, if you get this, you win. And here is the final picture.
Hitman Blood Money.
Hitman Blood Money is the correct answer, and I did hear Chad say it first.
Oh, that's such bullshit.
Yeah.
So Chad has won this week's edition of Zoomies, aka box art trivia guessing game stolen from Jacob McCourt. I'm shocked you guys got all of them. I didn't want to go too obscure because I know how difficult it would be, but you guys nailed all of these fucking right away. So maybe I'll need to
I know my box art better than I thought I did.
The one that got me when we did trivia at PAX East, do a Google real quick for the game for... Oh, what is it called? It's not Forspoken, because that's the PS5 one. It's Forsaken. No, Forsaken. It's a black and white cover, except for the girl's hair is red. And I knew the cover art, because I've seen it in a million magazines as a kid, and I just didn't know the name of the fucking video game.
N64 game?
Yes, it's an N64 game.
I've never seen this before in my life.
Yeah, Joel, you're just the lady with the tattoo on her face.
I can't
but it's
click
like,
it. Oh,
yeah, but it's like the black and white, and then he zoomed in or like out on the hair.
Can you stop sharing, Adam? Can you stop sharing?
Oh yeah, let me stop sharing. That's fine. Boop, boop, boop. You're good.
The black and white one. There's a black and white version.
Well, there's a black and white. Her face is the only thing that's colored on the cover. So the black and white is like, yeah, he zoomed in on the black and white part of that cover art and then slowly zoomed out to show us the color. And I was like, oh, I know this game. I've seen this game in video game magazines because this was, a thing back in the day, but I just didn't know the name of it. So that's the one that fucked me up the worst. Also, somebody got Biomutant on the very first guess when it was just a picture of a piece of grass, and I almost fucking left the stage right then and there. But yep, that's my segment for the day.
And that brings us to Game On Game Show. The Game On Game Show, we play a game called Game On, the gaming show on a game show, game. We've got a returning game for the third week in a row, but this one is Nintendo Smush Mush. I took another crack at mushing food and Nintendo games, and video game titles together into clever things with clues. I've got 5 games. These are all games that were mentioned during the Nintendo Direct from Summer Game Fest. So at this point, we've gone over the PlayStation show, we've done the Summer Game Fest keynote, and we've done the Nintendo Direct. I bet you can't guess where we're going next week with Game On Game Show. So we've got 5 here. I learned my lesson the first time, and I've made these easier to guess so that it's more fun. And that seemed to work reasonably well with Adam last week. And we'll see if it goes. So just shout them out if you think you know it.
Okay.
Starting with, help discover why all the world's puppets suddenly start destroying the real boy's pastry shop.
Wait a minute. What was the thing? The overall
games shown at the Nintendo Direct.
This is Nintendo. Okay.
Mushed up
time.
with food.
One more time.
Help discover why all the world's puppets suddenly started destroying this real boy's pastry shop.
God, it's the pastry part that I'm stuck on. What would it be? Oh, what's a pastry that starts with that letter?
Lies of Pies.
It's not Lies of Pies.
I was going to say Lies of Pizza, but that's not a pastry. That's the only thing that fucked me. Lies of Pastries? That would be. It's a pastry.
In this one, the real boy doesn't tell lies.
Yeah.
Eyes of
You
Pies.
guys are so close. You guys are so close.
Pies.
The real boy's
of P.
name is P. It is Pies of P. Yes, thank you.
There we go. We got there.
All right, number 2. Exorcise the demons in the 5th entry of this action-packed franchise. Wield your iconic ebony and ivory from a distance, or swap to a crispy, thin potato when you're ready to slice and dice up close. This is probably the least creative clue.
Devil May Fries 5.
That is correct. Devil May Fries 5. Number 3. Assemble your party of 4 and set off on this HD 2D adventure where we're trying to find the truth about how these grapes keep turning into pruny little crystals.
I got nothing. Is this the Final Fantasy one?
Yeah, it's Final. But I don't know what the pruny little. Final Fantasy.
Find out the truth about how these grapes keep turning into pruny little crystals.
I don't know what the sub name of the game is, so I'm sure that would help.
The sub name of the game is Resonance. Resonance.
Final
Fantasy Resonance.
Final Fantasy Resonance. Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was like, what would it be? Raisins. There we go. Okay.
This one's another dud, but it was one of the only ones I could think of a word for. But in this single-player focused spin-off, you're finding treasure and taking over territory by spraying every wall with Chicken of the Sea.
What was that?
What game is it? Do you know? I don't even know.
I know the game, yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what the... Splatoon Raiders.
Splatoon Raiders is correct. Yes.
What a fucking roll.
Number 5, last one. Discover the power of friendship and wield your iconic toaster pastry blade as you travel to worlds from all your favorite movies.
Kingdom Pop-Tarts 4.
Kingdom Pop-Tarts 4 is correct.
Joel, you gave me the business on the last time, and you just got... That was a 5-0, buddy. What happened?
Yeah.
Oh, we were working as a team.
Oh.
I mean, Joel did give you Lies of Pies.
You did give me Lies of Pies. I'll give it to you.
And that's it for Game on Game Show. That is it for episode 438 of Respawn Aim Fire. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Remember, play Halo Infinite multiplayer. We're going to talk about that at the end of the month. Maybe next week, maybe shortly thereafter. And then your BARF poll for July is up, and it is games that some of the devs of my favorite games have made that I haven't played. So again, your choices for that are The Messenger, Marathon 2, Durandal, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and Spyro Year of the Dragon. So go vote on that. We will reveal next weekend when we record what won for July. You mentioned what's coming to the tier list on Monday, but I forgot. What's the tier list on Monday?
Tier list on Monday is Rocky Horror.
That's right. Rocky
Show
Horror.
the game.
Yep. Go do that. And then also on patreon.com/respawninfire, you get access to our early episode of something that we'll never remember, but I'm sure it was great and hilarious. I'm sure we had a great old time.
It's very good.
Oh, yeah. Joel taught us how to sell Pokemon cards at trade shows.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
And then I actually went to a card show here in San Jose that weekend and had a great time.
From that secret website.
I didn't sell anything. I just shopped around.
Yeah.
So go listen to that. And then everyone else who is not a patron, you have access to the one from before that, whatever the hell that was. And then in July, we'll have another one ready for you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, here's our usual sign off. Lies of Pies.
Pies of P.